This program will be brought to you by the following sponsors.
It's a wrong road. Echo when they're getting newborns. Body stronger. The farther on you go. Thought I knew you. We can't never say I know me. That sorry shadow I could turn out to be. Sometimes I cannot. Just can't understand where my head is at. Oh, what my heart is saying. All throughout the struggle, sometimes I feel I can't shake the habit. I just can't wake up. But I know in the end I'll be the chill. 'Cause the road will go with me or without making no compromise. Fighting for a better life.
Persona 4 Arena.
Okay, welcome back yet again, friends, strangers, enemies. We are doing more Persona 4 Arena tonight. 3 days in a row this time, I believe, and this time we are going to be delving into Naoto's cliffhanger and into Elizabeth's story. And I do not know if we're going to be doing this tomorrow at all. We will probably finish up with Yu Narukami tomorrow if we do.
Velvet Room.
And then we should have this game done and dusted so we can start up Shadow of Destiny next Wednesday.
And matter.
Now, that being said, let us jump into this. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and follow me on my other socials.
Let the
wish you good
investigation
luck.
begin. Rise-san, look out!
I see something glimmer in front of me. Acting purely on instinct, I duck instantly. A low whizzing sound passes above my head. What was that? Did something get thrown my way?
Naoto-kun!
Rise-san turns towards me. I look at her from across the room. She is laying on something large on the ground. On closer inspection, the red and white lump she is holding down is Teddy. I see General Teddy in the back of the room, so the one with Rise-san has to be the real one. A girl is standing between Teddy and the General. I've never seen her before, but looking at her mechanical body, I can tell who she is. That's Labris.
What should we do? That girl wasn't normal. She wasn't even human. I know it sounds hard to believe, but she's a robot or something. She defeated Teddy and,
Calm down. Are you talking about Labris?
Though Rise-san is quite shaken, she still nods.
The riddle is solved then. You're not the real Teddy. You're only a shadow taking his form. The shadow of Labris here, to be precise.
Aha! No wonder they call you the Detective Prince now, Chan. You cracked the case. But even if you figured it out, there's still nothing you can do.
I carefully watch General Teddy as he scoffs. Whether it was or whatever it was he threw at me, I was too busy dodging to see it clearly, but it must be dangerous. I am sure he won't hurt his owner until he hears a certain phrase from her, but he has no reason to be gentle with the rest of us. I point my gun at him, ready for any more of his attacks. However, the next attack comes from a direction I had not been expecting.
What?
There's a droning sound. It's coming from a giant axe flying at me. The axe is bigger than I am, spinning through the air towards me. Like a boomerang, it curves back and returns to the hands of its wielder. There are thrusters behind the blade, allowing the axe to fly as it spins. It wasn't General Teddy attacking me. It was Labris, not the shadow, but the real one. What's going on? Wait, did she attack me for the first time as well? That would explain why Rise-san is so shaken up. But the shadow is right in front of her. Why is she going after me?
it's not true. I'm human. This is all just a bad dream. I gotta destroy everything.
I'm human.
I can't find any meaning in what she's saying. I want to convince her to stop, but I can't come up with the right words to do so. Labras takes a fighting stance without wasting a moment. It looks like the only way to bring Labras back to normal is to fight her.
Rise-san, please stay back.
Naoto-kun?
I never really expected to be able to convince her in the first place with the shadow here. I bite the bullet.
I will stop her, no matter what.
Okay, so Naoto's gun commands, I believe that's forward and X for her. I kept messing up and pressing A the last time around. She kept on shooting at the ground and ricocheting the damn things.
Finally.
Let's see. Yep, there we go.
Okay. I must hit! Do it! I must taking it and hit! Okay. There! Sniping! There you are! Now is the time! This should be enough rounds! There! I must sniping and hit! Now is the time! This should be enough rounds! Do it! Persona! There! Go down! Aim! There you are! Okay. Back to that! There! No! Assault and hit! Okay.
Oh, there we have it. That was easy.
Aw, she beat you fair and square. You really are useless, Labby-chan.
After Labras collapses, the shadow looks at her as if she was
The
trash.
whole reason for being is to fight. And you can't even do that. You're not worth a damn. You don't need to exist anymore.
The shadow's voice and speech pattern begin to slip away from its impersonation of Teddy. Why the fuck was I going to read that as impersification? I don't even think that's a word. No, that's not all. The fake Teddy's appearance begins to warp as well. Finally, the time has come for it to reveal its true self. And cutscene. I may as well take this moment to treat my tooth. The form that it takes is, as I thought, Labras.
I am a shadow. The true self.
That's my face.
Huh. You don't want to remember? Fine. You can die like that.
What? She's attacking her owner now. Is it a threat to pressure her? No, this is a shadow we're dealing with after all. There is no knowing what it'll do.
Stop it!
What's this? Why are you protecting her? It's her fault you all had to fight each other, you know.
With that, she turns to her other self and looks down at her with disdain in her eyes.
You want the everyday boys and girls to experience what you had to go through. Right? That's why we're in a school having a fighting tournament?
That ain't...
My home was a horrible place. They made us fight and kill each other just to collect combat data. It hurts so much, but no one understands. How can I make them see? I know. I'll force friends to fight each other. Maybe then they'll understand.
I'm pretty sure this dialogue has been the same thing word for word in each story since we started the game.
No. I wanna make them understand.
That ain't true. That's not what I want.
Oh, yeah? Then let me take over from here. I'll destroy everyone who pretends to understand, just like you did before.
Stop! I've had enough.
Labrys!
Don't say it.
You're not me. No.
You said it! You finally said it! The power, I can feel it building!
A sinister aura surges from the shadow. Even the surroundings begin to warp with its energy. And time for another cutscene.
Yes, the power!
In an instant, the area becomes dominated by a piercing red light. The view from beyond the window has changed completely. I hear Rise-san gasp behind me. I don't know what this place is modeled after, but I get the sense that someone carved open a living creature's stomach. This is the reflection of Labrys' heart, the suffering she carries. The shadow's golden eyes stand out even more in the dusky redness focused on me. I changed my mindset. There's only one thing to do here, just as my friends did for me.
Rise-san, you watch Labrys and Teddy.
I got him. Good luck, Nato-kun.
Yes, I'll save her.
Finally!
There! Aim! There you are! Okay. I won't hold back! Okay. What? What? Let's go point blank about this! Okay. Taking aim! This should be enough rounds. There! Aim! There you are! What? There! There! Taking aim! This should be enough rounds.
There we go. The giant creature behind the shadow, I had begun to think of it as part of the shadow itself, vanishes with a loud roar. I managed to defeat her. She shows no further signs of resistance. Cautiously, I turn around and walk to Labrys, who is still sitting on the floor being held up by Rise-san. It seems Teddy has also regained consciousness. He had broken into a sweat, flustering as he stands next to Rise-san.
Are you all right?
Labrys has a melancholy look on her face as she hangs her head. She's so human-like. The sheer authenticity of that expression makes that thought appear in my mind.
I didn't have the chance to introduce myself. I'm Naoto Shirogane. You're Labrys, is that correct?
She raises her head, but neither confirms nor denies it. She just quietly stares at her double across the room. A machine given the ability to summon a persona. Persona's ability was the primary objective in her creation. The fact that she also developed a heart came as a byproduct. How much suffering did she have to go through, having been treated like an object for so long? It isn't easy to imagine.
I can't claim to understand your pain. It was only today that I learned you existed, to say nothing of the weapons program from which you sprung. But there is one thing I do understand.
I kneel and look Labrys in the
Look
eyes.
carefully at me. Do I seem like a man or a woman to you?
What do you mean?
You and I are alike. There is such a gulf between what we yearn to be and what we are that we have trouble accepting our true nature.
Our true nature?
Just as I cannot break the glass ceiling of my profession, you cannot become human. That is the painful truth. But if we were able to change, would that truly bring us happiness? I feel there is something only you or I can offer, because of who we really are.
There's something a machine like me can offer? Even if there is something like that, there's no place I belong.
That's not true. I'm not human either, but I work at Jeunesse. The part-time ladies give me sweets sometimes and everything.
The heart is always lacking something. It may be that you and I will be troubled by this same thing for the rest of our lives. But please don't forget that you're not alone anymore.
I'm not alone.
I nod strongly to Labrys as she looks up at me. I repeat it for emphasis.
Don't worry. You're not alone.
That's right. I'll stick to you like glue.
And it won't be just us. I'm sure you'll make lots of friends with everyone in town.
Really? A machine? Like me?
We nod. Labrys stands up and approaches her shadow.
They said it's okay to be me. Doesn't that make you happy too?
She takes the shadow's hand as it droops its head listlessly.
I'm so sorry I locked you up inside me for all that time. But we'll be okay now. I'm not alone. And you're not either, right?
And cutscene 3.
I'm sorry I ignored you all this time. I was the one who left you all alone. No, you are me, after all. This is my persona.
Labrys, there are some people from the Kirijo group here looking for you.
I wonder if they'll stick me back in that box again. Of course they will. After all, I caused a lot of trouble. What else are they gonna do?
I can't say anything about that for certain. But you should talk with them. It's your right to be where you belong.
Yeah, you're right.
At that moment, I hear several such footsteps approaching from the outside. I stand and take a fighting pose for an instant, but relax when I hear familiar voices. I ease up as I smile, or I ease up and smile. Goddamn, still cannot read.
Is everyone all right?
Whoa, Senpai! You're back from the city already?
Never mind him, Kanji-kun. What about you? What have you been doing all this time?
The shadow host was defeated. The invisible walls must have disappeared. The place is familiar to all of us. With the walls gone, finding each other is a piece of cake.
Yo, Naoto. Guess you made the big meetup after all, huh? I swear, we're tied together by fate or something. Actually, is that the real you, Teddy?
You're so blind sometimes, Yosuke.
Rise-chan, I'm so glad you're safe. Senpai, you're all here.
Kirijo-san's group comes in behind Senpai and the others. The room instantly falls silent. Perhaps one of the others has encountered them during a match before I did, but in general, everyone was shocked to see them. Kirijo-san weaves between all of us and walks directly towards Labris.
You must be Labris.
All of us hold our breath at Kirijo-san's dignified
I'm
voice.
Mitsuru Kirijo. You may have heard already, but I came to collect you.
Collect. At that, Labris takes a step back. I put my hand on her shoulder to comfort her. She looks at me and I nod. Human, robot, anyone, it doesn't change anything. But no matter who you are, there are things that you have to carry out through your own actions, using your own words.
I don't want to go back in that box. Or to that lab.
As Labris managed to say it, a voice speaks up from behind Kirijo-san.
Mitsuru-san, I'd like to ask that you consider her request. Labris's, my sister's abilities, will surely be useful to us. Please, can't we enlist her on a trial basis and see what happens?
Sister. Surprised by that unfamiliar appellation, Labris looks towards the speaker.
You're a robot too.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Aegis, the 7th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon. I'm your successor, sister.
We're sisters?
She answered Labris with a smile. Amazing, her tone, her expressions, they're all so human.
I'd like to third their request. I'm well aware that I'm in no place to make demands on you, but...
Kirijo-san gives a wry smile after the third objection.
I'm starting to feel like the bad guy.
Well, you should.
There's no need to worry. I wasn't thinking of sealing you away again.
Really?
You've awakened to your persona and gained control over it. True, I don't know for sure that the danger is past, but I don't feel that you need to be sealed off from humanity, particularly since it's obvious that you have a heart. Kirijo-san.
Labby-chan doesn't need to be all alone anywhere? Yay!
Naoto, sorry to interrupt, but who are these people?
They kinda look like a bunch of freaks.
Yeah, I mean, one of them's not even human.
Really, Kanji?
I guess she's a robot?
Huh? Wait a sec. Kirijo? As in the Kirijo group? Wait, what? What's going on here?
All my friends begin to look at me, the only one who knows everything. Well, where should I start? More importantly, how much should I disclose? Either way, it looks like it's going to be a long explanation. First, though, I suggest that we change locations. It's important to share information, but it's imperative that we all get out of here safely. Teddy leads us to the roof. When he opens the door to the roof, though, we find ourselves in a place that looks nothing like the real thing. Everyone besides Teddy stares in surprise. Okay, I think I read that wrong, but I ended up reading it right. I think that was a translation error there. Outside the door is a space that resembles a TV studio. That's right, it's the place that we used as a entrance lobby to the TV world last year. It disappeared once, it disappeared once, but it must have reappeared when Labris entered the world and created the school here. The others told me that the Midnight Channel aired again. Whoever watched the broadcast must have associated it with last year's airings. That explains why it looks exactly the same. At any rate, it looks like we'll be able to exit here in one piece. As I sigh in relief, Kirijo-san turns to us.
I should introduce myself to the rest of you. I am Mitsuru Kirijo. I cannot tell you who I am affiliated with or my position, but I bear all responsibility for Labris. This case, the whole disturbance was mainly due to us. I'm very sorry for putting you in such danger.
Kirijo-san sums up the sequence of events. Labris' entry into the world was the cause of it all. She and the others came here after her.
How do you know Mitsuru-san, Naoto-kun?
That's... well... Shirogane was working with us. Since it was our first time in this world, he helped us safely reach Labris.
So, the job you had was to bring Mitsuru-san and the others here?
Huh? Well... That was basically it.
I'm sorry, but there are some things he cannot disclose. I ask for your understanding in that regard.
Sure, detective stuff. I get ya. That's pretty cool.
Sonata-san and Aigus-san don't say a word even after Kirijo-san's explanation. It's not completely a lie, but still. I shrug and sigh softly. If I denied the incomplete explanation, it would be the same as admitting that I was working against them.
I really am no match for her.
You're more than a match for her, you're just a better person, Naoto.
Well then, let's all go home. Alrighty, attention please. The trip doesn't end until we get out of the TV.
Dude, you really gave us a scare. And this isn't the first time either. Well, at least it ended well.
You know, I understand about Rise-chan and Teddy, but why did Kanji-kun go missing again?
Huh? Oh, well, because,
You needed a change of pace, no?
What?
Did I misspeak? You said something like, sometimes a man just wants to be alone inside a TV.
As if.
Alto, you bastard! Why'd you have to tell him that?
Labrys laughs at our small talk. Looking at her, I begin to feel like this episode wasn't so bad after all. But suddenly, Labrys' smile suddenly disappears and her body freezes in an unnatural position.
Labrys?
Labrys does not answer me. Sonata-san shouts a warning.
Get away from her!
Everyone jumps back confused. Kanji-kun wasn't even sure he was supposed to be backing away from it, or what he was supposed to be backing away from at first. Soon, though, we all stand around her in a ring. Labrys stands in the center, completely motionless.
What's going on?
I don't know. I can only tell that she's probably being controlled from outside.
Controlled? As we all watch her, confused and nervous, Labrys' right hand slowly begins to move. It reaches around her back to her thrusters, or rather, to her axe. Labrys' eyes were staring blankly into space, but suddenly glance at me.
Shirogane!
The warning comes at the same instant as the attack. I could feel the wind of the axe's passage as I bend backwards to dodge the blow. If she'd gone after anyone else, things might not have been so fortunate. I'm the only one who's actually seen that attack, but Labrys follows up with a different attack. I gulp in spite of myself. That white, elegant silhouette behind Labrys, I'd almost forgotten. Labrys now has the power of persona. Fighting her won't be as easy as it was before.
Labrys, why? Never mind, it can wait.
Final. Fight!
There! Ah! There you are! Okay.
That's enough!
Sniping! There you are! Okay.
Persona!
There!
Sniping! Man, hit! Now's the time!
This should be enough rounds. Hey, there you are! Okay.
Go! I was hit!
There!
Taking aim!
There you are!
Now's the time!
This should be enough rounds. Hey! Okay.
Do it!
There we go. I emerged victorious, but I don't have enough energy remaining to run up to her. I breathed heavily and looked at her. Aigus-san runs towards Labrys in my place.
Sister, are you all right?
Suddenly, an uncanny voice echoes throughout the studio.
To think she'd fall so easily.
Wait, we have Naoto's shadow for this one? Huh, okay. Everyone glances around trying to find where it came
I
from.
hope that she'd provide more entertainment. What a disappointment.
As soon as the sentence is complete, all eyes turn towards me. I cannot blame them. After all, this voice was mine. The darkness in the center of the ring twists and squirms like gel. A face forms on the surface, and it hardens into limbs and a human-like body. It stands up. The thing standing before us was, again, me. No, just something taking my shape.
Naoto-kun's shadow? Why?
Yeah, I'm confused too. Shouldn't Shouminu Kazuki be the one, like, doing his gloating from outside the TV?
I thought you disappeared.
I can't stop myself from being filled with anxiety, but I keep my voice calm as I ask it a question.
Who are you? Once you've gained your persona, you're not supposed to see your shadow again. That's what you thought, isn't it? Did you really think I had gone away? Well, too bad. Man cannot let go so easily of his weakness. I'm always with you.
No, this can't be happening.
My friends become even more disturbed. They certainly had caused worry. Could the same thing happen to them? Will it? I, however, did not stir. Instead, I suddenly understood what had happened. This thing's objective was clearly to cause us all to panic.
Enough farce. You are not my shadow.
I walked towards the copy of me, the real enemy.
I know that for two reasons. First, I was able to use my persona in the battle just now. One's persona and shadow are two sides of a coin. If you are my shadow, my persona should have been unusable.
Okay, but what if it's your shadow and it only showed up now, and that's why your persona was usable before because it wasn't there? Didn't think about that, did you, Detective?
Second, you took control of Labrys just now. That's an unusual power far beyond the capabilities of a human like myself.
Wrong again, she was being controlled from outside of the TV.
I'm sorry to say you've dug yourself a deeper hole by showing off that ability.
And you're showing off some slight stupidity on your end, Naoto.
With a power like that, you could drive a man to extreme acts, which was the missing piece in this case.
Uwu person is not going to like this when it gets clipped.
You mean the hijacking wasn't just the work of a highly motivated crew?
Hey, Uwu person, cry about it.
Rather, whoever we're talking to now was...
It was Labrys's dark wish that we fight each other. But what if someone knew beforehand that that would happen? Labrys has a heart, but she's also a machine. Unlike humans, her memories can be tampered with. By using Labrys, you thought you could orchestrate the disturbance her shadow would create in this world. Your objective is, as you just said, to gather persona users, have them fight, disrupt their hearts, and steal their personas. That's why you're appearing in the form of my shadow right now, to confuse me. You're the real puppet master behind this case. I'm surprised. Very insightful of you, Naoto Shirogane. I didn't expect you to fight back this fiercely. Sadly, it seems things won't be going according to plan this time. But I'll make use of what tools I have to the very end. This is my last chance. No, more like a marvelous entertainment. Now stand, my puppet.
Labrys staggers to her feet. There's no doubt now, this is the person controlling Labrys. And she has yet to break free from the spell.
Poor thing. It's all worn out because of you. It shouldn't have much strength left to fight. But unless you destroy it, it will keep rising up and attacking you all. What will you do?
Labrys pointed her axe at me for the third time. Rather than caution, I feel sympathy. The forced killing of comrades against one's will. I see now. This is the past her shadow had talked about.
Shirogane, you need to stand back!
Kirijo-san steps in front of me.
If we all attack her, we may end up destroying Labrys. But she's just under its control. If we can release her, she should stop attacking.
I glance over at Rise-san.
Is that possible? Alright, I'll give it a try.
Perhaps Rise-san's persona was powerful enough to do it. I think it's worth trying. However...
It's no use. What is that thing? It's not a shadow. It's way too strong.
I had a feeling things wouldn't be so easy. Out of options, Kirijo-san signals Aigis-san with a troubled look on her face.
Aigis, prepare for the worst.
Aigis-san opens her eyes in shock. A look of astonishment, and not the good kind. But she quickly regains composure and begins readying her weapons. She slowly aimed them at Labrys. Realizing what was happening, Rise-san hastily interjects.
Oh, wait! Let me try again!
But Aiga-san pays her no heed. Labrys is still in her sights. She looks calm, but it hurts just to see her expression. That's only natural. She called Labrys her sister.
Now suffer. Relinquish your personas.
At that very moment, Kirijo-san suddenly looks up. She closes her eyes. She gathers her strength, and as she had when she had tried to establish a line of communication with her own persona. But who is she trying to reach?
Now!
Who is she talking to? Is there someone here besides us? As I stared at Kirijo-san in bewilderment, it happens. Without warning, Labrys freezes in place. The menacing aura that she had been giving off dissipates in an instant.
What?
For the first time, I could hear panic in the enemy's voice. Freed from the power of the enemy, Labrys' body collapses to the ground. Aiga-san's weapons fold back into her body, and she runs to Labrys as if all her pent-up emotions were exploding behind her like a rocket.
What the heck was that?
I don't know. I was getting desperate, too. It seemed like something far away stepped in.
This can't be!
It's just as we thought. The enemy is taking on your appearance and has no connection to you. Feel free to cut loose.
Kirijo-san's voice is full of confidence. I don't know what she did, but when she speaks so confidently, it's impossible to doubt her. I look at the enemy again, my face, but with a different expression.
There's something I want to ask before I fight. What now? Why did you choose me? Of all the persona users here, why did you use my face?
Is that all? Of course I chose you. You were the most unstable of the lot. Never quite sure whether to call yourself a man or a woman. Your indecisiveness made you the perfect prey.
I clench my fists, but keep my anger in check. After a moment, I nonchalantly tip my hat back on my head.
There's actually something I've been curious to know all this time. Last year, when my real shadow went berserk, I was forced to the sidelines. It left me wondering whether I could have overcome that other me on my own. This is the perfect chance to find out. I won't hold back an inch.
Finally!
There you are!
Okay.
There! Here I... There! Here I go! Aim! There! Concentrate! There! Taking aim! There you are! Now is the time! This should be enough rounds! There! There! Assault down!
Okay.
Nana, please! Not bad. There. Aim. There you are.
Okay.
Aim. Aim.
Okay.
Easy enough. I wonder how Elizabeth is going to control when we get to her. I don't think I've played as her yet in either Persona Arena games. The enemy staggers and falls to her knees, her face, or rather mine, writhing in agony.
You did it! You're so cool now, Chan!
I can't believe you could go that nuts on something that looked like you.
It may have taken my shape, but it wasn't me. I had no reason to relent.
I fully believe what I said, but Kanji-kun doesn't seem satisfied for some reason. Kirijo-san looks down at the enemy.
You'll be coming with us. There are some things we still want to ask you.
This is fine with me. There were many twists and turns along the way, but I'm not displeased with the results. It was good enough for this time that I confirmed you have the power to meet my expectations. This time, this is only a temporary form. I doubted there'd be any meaning in changing my appearance, but sure enough, it made for a very enjoyable game. I will see you in another guise next time. Just wait until then.
The enemy laughs and begins to fade away.
Wait!
Of course, the enemy simply disappears into thin air. Who was she? What was her objective, trying to separate us from our personas? Unfortunately, I was not able to get to the core of the matter. But still, next time, huh?
Hell no! Don't you dare come back again!
Yeah, what he said!
Seriously, that was one sick bastard.
Copying Now-chan was going too far! Bad enough that it was in violation of my image rights, taking my form like that!
I wonder if this is the start of something bigger.
Yeah, I don't think we should let our guard down.
Everyone's face clouds with anxiety. No one could have imagined that we would run into something bigger, or into some bigger threat like this. Does the enemy plan to cause another incident like this again? Are we going to get more humiliating catchphrases? Killjoy detective? Am I really that bad? It appears that Kirijo-san has worries of her own, though.
My analysis didn't make it in time, but that was...
It's hard to believe. Then again,
With a strong look in her eyes, she swallows her fears and comes to us as we discuss who the identity of the mastermind could
in
be.
any case, you don't have to worry about it. It's our responsibility from here on out.
But it was obviously targeting us. We can't shrug and go on our way after that.
He's correct. Given that it's taken an interest in us, we must arm ourselves against it.
Of course, you should be aware that the enemy is out there, but there is no need to abandon your lives to pursue it. We will do our best to ensure that no harm comes to you. That is, after all, our duty.
I could sense that she is completely sincere. We all trade glances, but we eventually concede with our leader's opinion. We'll agree to Kirijo-san's offer. There's some lingering regrets, but we have little choice right now. Seeing that everything is settled, Teddy butts in and strikes a strange pose. We turn to look at him, and with a grin of pride, he kicks at the floor with his heel. That is his usual little dance when summoning the exit TV to get us out of the TV world. Kirijo-san's group is obviously surprised, and they look pointedly at the TV.
What are you doing with this ancient TV? Hang on, where'd you even get this?
It's a Teddy Vision! You can get out from here!
This TV is our escape route? Can we really fit inside?
Ooh, are you a little too front-loaded to fit? In that case, I wouldn't mind helping you squeeze through!
You're even worse than before, you know that?
We all pass through Teddy's TV and make it back to the real world. Of course, Kirijo-san's a bit flustered to find herself in the middle of a department store. Labrys looks slightly lonely, but she follows Kirijo-san by her own free will. There shouldn't be anything to worry about. Remembering Aiga-san's gentle smile, I know that they'll make sure Labrys is alright. And so, the incident came to a close. The following day, May 4th. Kirijo-san had stayed the night pursuing the follow-up investigation and is going back to the city today. We learned that from none other than Labrys, who had called us in and wanted to say goodbye in person. And of course, we were obliged to see them off. At the intersection just outside the shopping district, we gathered by that oh-so-familiar limousine to exchange parting words with Labrys.
I'm really sorry for causing you guys so much trouble.
What are you saying? I had a blast meeting you, Labby-chan!
Likewise. But I can't believe you didn't notice at all that Kirijo-san was searching high and low for you. You're so thick.
That is mysterious. I wouldn't hesitate to answer the call of such a beautiful woman. It must have been because I was having so much fun talking with Labby-chan.
She never gives it a rest. So, what are you gonna do now, Labrys?
If you need
help. We don't mind sheltering you. Yukiko's house is a great hideout.
Thanks. But I'm planning on working with Mitsuru-san. We're gonna catch the scumbag who tried to use you guys. This time, it'll be me that's got your backs.
Sounds promising.
It sounds as though you found a place where you belong then.
Sure enough.
Come back anytime to hang out, okay? We'll be here for you.
Okay. Thanks, you guys.
Labra's expression is radiant. I turn around to see Kirijo-san and the others watching from inside the car with gentle smiles. I leave the circle gathered around Labris and approach Kirijo-san. There's something that I have to confide in her after all this time.
I confess, I had known about the existence of the Shadow Operatives from the start.
As I thought. Well, considering what we've both been through, there's no need to keep it hidden from you anymore.
Why are you taking the lead even if it risks your life? A woman in your position needn't.
A great many people were hurt because of mistakes the Kirijo group made in the past. I won't let it happen again. To leave behind nothing that could jeopardize the future. That's my mission. More than that, it's a vow I made.
I feel like she's speaking to someone else, someone who's not here to hear her. She then nods to me. Sincerity in her eyes is all the confirmation I need. In my line of business, you rarely come across people who actually speak what they mean. People I would call noble. She is one of the few. Her eyes show trust in me, and that makes me proud to know her as well.
You've been a real help. About the next step, though, I doubt you'll back down that easily.
Who knows? It's not my decision to make.
I give a casual reply, and Kirijo-san shakes her head with a smile.
I understand that nothing I say can dissuade you, but I want you to be cautious.
Her expression turns serious. This is likely to be a personal warning about the investigation I should be keeping secret from her.
Of course, there are those within the Kirijo group who don't think as I do. There are no doubt a lot of dark secrets to be unearthed. The current Kirijo group has drifted away from the family businesses. I am only the founding family's daughter, not the strongest position.
What an odd warning. It's as if you're showing compassion to your enemy. Well, I too personally hope you find success. You be careful too, Kirijo-san.
Just call me Mitsuru.
Of course, Mitsuru-san. Well, until next time.
The car soon departs in the direction of the highway. We watched as Labris waves from the window, believing that one day we'll meet again. After seeing them off, we head to the food court at Junes. It's been a bit delayed, but it's time for you Senpai's welcome back party. These last few days have been full of trouble, but I can't help but feel that some sort of fate has brought us together in the end. Soon the topic at hand changes to what you Senpai had said. We should reform the investigation team. Just as Mitsuru-san had predicted, it was the only natural reaction to what we had been through. Not a single one of us objects to the idea, and we all talk about our plans to continue. By the time we split up and I arrived home, it was close to midnight. But I sat at my desk and turned on my computer, so that I may compile my report on the investigation.
What follows are my impressions of the organization called the Shadow Operatives, as well as their leader, Mitsuru Kirijo. As a member of the Kirijo group's founding family, Mitsuru Kirijo strongly wishes for the corporation's stigma to be cleared. Yet the Shadow Operatives are not ultimately a means for her to clear this stigma. Her first priority is to protect and save those who are at risk. The way she handled the lost cargo in this case made that much clear. Though discarding it would have been more advantageous and it would have been simple to destroy in secret, she chose not to do so. She sees the restoration of the family honor as a byproduct of her true mission. I will continue my secret investigation. It is apparent that the Kirijo group still harbors many dark secrets. Yet I must note that no matter how their internal affairs are worth watching, we need not trouble ourselves overseeing Shadow Operatives. Mitsuru Kirijo does not shrink from the responsibilities she bears. We will never gain leverage over her based on her family's sins. Even if the true culprit behind this matter has ties to the Kirijo group, she will...
I stop typing and delete the last
No,
sentence.
this report is no place for conjecture. I suspect this is only the beginning.
Okay, on to Elizabeth's chapter.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
I wish you good luck.
With the endless darkness, or within the endless darkness, are scattered countless bright lights like nebula. But those lights are not stars. Each one is the light of life, the gleam of a man's soul. Or of man's souls. This is the world inside people's hearts. A place where every human's consciousness is connected and can be traced to their origin. Every memory since the dawn of man, and even those on the ladder of its evolution, slumbers here. Some think of this place as a sea. And they may be correct. Depending on how deep you go, you may see this world's endless landscapes and innumerable faces. Where I stand now is one of its furthest depths. A domain that has existed far beyond or far before life became sentient or even took form. Here there is only the darkness of death and the radiance of life. I come here at times for the very important objective, or for a very important objective. Suddenly, a patch of the darkness surges and undulates. The pitch-black substance swells with a tar-like consistency and quickly takes the shape of a giant arm.
My, it's rather stout compared to before.
Just as good and evil are products of man's heart, there is also a negative force here in the Sea of Souls that tempts man to corruption and destruction. Through one person's malice, or though one person's malice may amount to little, there are billions of people in the world. It's actually common for monsters capable of destroying mankind to develop without anyone realizing. This is one of them. Though it was only an arm at first, it quickly developed into an enormous human-shaped torso. It roars with resentment, sending shocks through the space where up and down were fluid. Or up and down are fluid? My jaw's hurting again. The monster raises an enormous arm that could tear down mountains towards the heavens, but it suddenly stops. Something is blocking its movement. I am, to be precise. You might think that I am nowhere on the scene. In truth, even the monster may be thinking that. But I'd like to direct your attention to the fingertips at the end of the giant's arm. Closer. Even closer than that. Keep going closer, all the way to the index finger.
There. Do you see me now? Have I forgotten to introduce myself? My name is Elizabeth.
I fix my gaze upon the two lights that seem to be the monster's eyes, but it twists away, trying to resist.
Do you wish to behold death that much?
I grab the monster's index finger, and in one motion I flip its immense body and throw it into the air. The monster cries out in agony, and the area quakes again.
Oh dear. It seems it won't be easy for one of this size. I cannot damage the world of everyone's hearts, and I hesitate to make a scene in the real world either. Time for a change of scenery.
I open the elegant grimoire in my hand. A large blue magic circle forms behind the thrown monster, swallowing the gargantuan figure. I follow it in. Bear with me for just a moment. Dry lips, sore jaw, and a toothache. What a fucked up combination that is. Eventually I
We will
speak up.
soon reach our destination.
Another magic circle appears in an altogether different kind of black void than the one that we came from. Monster is spat out there, and when it collides with the surface, a tremendous cloud of dust rises. I emerge from the magic circle second and raise into the air. On the horizon, beyond the monster, I could see a deep blue sphere. Yes, this is the moon.
Now, I had promised to show you death. Your fate is in the cards.
A figure appears behind me, bearing several coffins.
The god of death, Thanatos. What do you think?
The light of the stars shines off its drawn sword and gleams bewitchingly.
Was it to your liking? Well then, farewell.
It flings the sword down at the monster's head. Against its fearsome size, the sword is barely larger than a needle, but the sword's merciless sharpness pierces far beyond the blade's length. The monster's body slices apart like wet paper. With a final death cry, the monster slowly dissolves and evaporates as black mist. A deafening silence returns to the area. To break the quiet, a tune plays on my lips.
Velvet, oh velvet.
I create another magic circle in the air and step through it. I shouldn't remain long in this world without any real objective. This is not the world I belong in, after all.
My master has a large nose.
Is Igor going to show up in this one? I was once a resident of the Velvet Room and served its master. The dark blue clothing I still wear is from that time. All the residents have their roles, but they are also on a journey. We help our guests grow as people, and through the help we offer, we come to understand the ultimate question. It is the fundamental question of who are we?
Thinking back on it, I spent so many days like that for such a long time. I had thought that it would be impossible to change.
But 2 years ago, I finally reached my answer. One's identity cannot be sought out, but must be forged for oneself. It's something you build little by little. People call the freedom to do so potential, and by mastering it, people develop their unique identities. That is the understanding I came to. So, it seemed to me I should believe in my own potential and wander in pursuit of my desire. It wasn't a hard conclusion to come to. That is why I abandoned my assigned role and departed on my long journey. I had set an objective for myself. To defeat the monster I fought a moment ago, once and for all. I vanquished it then, but that is only temporary.
It'll surely resurrect within the year again, and I'll go through today once more.
That monster was born of the twisted wishes arising from the lack of substance in people's lives. It slowly stagnates and seeps out. If this is life, then bring on death. Desires like that are what give it power. And the giant black arm tries to free death from its prison. It can never be left to act on its aims. But as long as people continue to wish as they do, the foul feelings will congeal, and it will revive endlessly. To truly defeat the monster means to change people's hearts. That cannot be done no matter how much one improves their skill in battle. I do not currently know how this goal can be attained. It may be that no one in the world knows yet. Some new and unknown miraculous power will most likely be required. That is why I wish to travel as far and wide as I can to broaden my horizons. Since I've only interacted with the guests of this room, I'm sure the scope of my knowledge is far inferior to a single human's. But there are infinite places for me to explore. I'll travel to each one and satisfy my natural curiosity.
Now, that's why I have come here. A double check on the danger scale situation that I just recently discovered.
Place my hand on my hips in what I believe to be standing firm. Before me is what seems to be a replica of a building in the real
Since
world.
multiple Persona users gathering, it's once in a blue moon that one discovers a place like this. I'm sure I can learn some interesting things here, or something along those lines. In any case, I, Elizabeth, can scarcely keep myself from getting involved.
For someone with a physical form to step into the realm of the mind would be for them to enter an even more abstract place than the Velvet Room. Normally, it would be impossible, and even if it were, it would be very dangerous without a firm will. For it to occur at all is intriguing, though, or intriguing enough. But on top of that, these people are mainly Persona users. And not just one or two. There's no denying that something truly extraordinary is happening here. Broadened horizons aside, I can't resist taking a closer look. When I get closer, I see a nameplate reading Yasugami High School, at what seems to be the main gate.
This building. Is it a school?
The school building before me looks aged, and I narrow my eyes.
Seems somewhat old-fashioned compared to the school I have experience with, but it has its charms as well. This is what they call animalist aesthetic. Animalist? Bestial? Anyway, something along those lines.
Something along those lines. There are bizarre decorations as far as the eye could see inside the building. Was this school always thus adorned?
These decorations. Could this be the fabled school festival I've heard tell of? A festival is where one toys with the lives of goldfish in a scandalous game. One can also enjoy a combat simulation with close-range shooting tests using sniper rifle fire into the interior of stalls. Ooh, I'm starting to get excited.
Elizabeth, never change. Looking up, I spy a large sign done in vibrant colors.
B1 Grand Prix. Could this be a fighting tournament? This isn't why the Persona users are gathering, is it?
No sooner do my suspicions arise than I sense the first presence within the school and turn towards it. Come, challenger. I wave my arms about in anticipation, but something seems a bit odd.
That lady over there. She not a Persona user? Regardless of that, I sense something out of the ordinary.
When I close my eyes, I can tell that while she may appear to be a human girl, something about her is amiss. I sense an unnatural disconnect from her memories and consciousness not seen in most people.
Is she truly human?
Now that I'm here, I could sense powerful combatants gathering one by one. If such power were to be used to its fullest in clashes of skill, the result could be life-threatening. This place is not meant for such a girl. If she were to be drawn into this, then in the worst-case scenario...
Were I still my old self when I only lived to play out my role, I would leave her be. But I am different now.
I make my way towards the girl. As I approach her, I begin to hear voices. It seems that she is calling herself a student council president. I stride down the end of the hallway where she is walking, directly into view. The girl gives me a slightly questioning look, but no more. She comes towards me guilelessly.
Hey, excuse me. You got some reason to be at our school?
Up close, I could tell at once. There is no doubt that the girl is not human. Yet she seems to be under that impression. The original residents of the place seem to believe that she is as well. But of course, that is impossible. The disconnect I sensed earlier must be related.
Could someone have tampered with her memories and psyche?
No matter how unusual her circumstances, such extreme gaps in awareness are no mere figments of the imagination. It's possible, but normally those with a distorted view of reality have equally distorted emotions. And I do not sense that in her. Her emotions are in balance, only her memories and awareness fall short. Like a corda ballet falling behind a soloist. I fix my gaze upon the girl before me once again. If she did not come here of her own will, then the events here may be more sinister than I imagined.
Are you sure this is how things should be?
Huh?
I am a wanderer who only stopped here because I sensed great power gathering. I am in no position to give advice, but, this place will soon be caught in a bit of a fracas. If you continue to avert your eyes from everything, I think it will have an impact on your life in the near future.
My life?
What you choose is up to you, but I believe there are factors preventing you from making the right choices at the moment. I couldn't bring myself to just stand by and watch as you lost your life before my eyes. That is why I came to you, so I could give you one last chance.
She has most likely forgotten who she is. I sense something shining, slumbering deep within her heart. It's the glow of a bond. No one who has been a resident of the Velvet Room could mistake it for anything else. Before she forgot herself, she must have had strong feelings about someone or had made a promise to them. But I'll leave that to her to remember what it is. I hold out the Persona Compendium as if handing it to a girl and open its pages. Light streams out from it and washes over her. The light dispels the girl's false image, the illusion that made her seem human, though she is not.
Huh? What is this?
Her true form is revealed as a gleaming mechanical body. Her arms look as if steel plates are covering them. The girl frantically pulls at them to try to tear them off.
It won't come off! What gives?
My, what a robotically cool body. It is apparently meant for battle.
Hey, you! What did you do to me?
Nothing in particular. Well, well, considering that you are meant for battle, I shall briefly be your opponent. During that time, why not think back about who you are?
Huh? My opponent?
Most likely, I will not get through to her with words alone. Only by being forced into confrontation will she finally be able to understand. She already knows how to use the steel limbs, which she supposedly never before seen.
And away we go.
Okay, so how is Elizabeth going to control in this? I don't remember if I used her in Ultimax at all. I know that we fought against her a couple of times, but as far as playing as her...
This one got hurt. Now down. My turn. Opening my door. Let's change things up. My turn. Here is some freezing. Oh no, please. Persona. Persona. My turn. Prepare. The time has come. Would you mind waiting for a moment? Round and round.
Okay, whatever that was overpowered.
Sorry. Oh, pardon. How mean. My turn. My turn. My turn. Persona. Here is some response. Here. My turn. I will shatter.
The girl collapses powerlessly. I used a soft touch during the battle. She should have sustained no injuries. Probably. Very reassuring, Elizabeth. Still, the girl does not stand back up, apparently due to the or due to mental rather than physical stress. Her own arms and legs have turned metallic. Yet, in the heat of battle, she was able to use those foreign appendages with ease. If she truly thought herself to be human, that would have come as quite a shock.
That should be enough. I'm sure you realize now that you are not human. There must have been an important promise that could only be kept in that guise. That must have been your reason for living. Whether it's worth losing that or not, I ask that you give it serious thought.
An important promise. My reason for living?
Her potential will become unlocked through self-reflection. That was how it happened for me as well.
It seems the tumult of trials is about to begin. In which case, I bid you good luck.
Oh!
I closed the compendium in my hand, and the worn pages rustle as they meet. By the time it shuts, I'm already far away from the girl. In my absence, the illusion is again in place, giving her the appearance of a human once more. She may consider what happened to be a daydream, and that is quite alright. My intention was to give her an opportunity to awaken to the truth. What she eventually decides is up to her. But that aside, there's something else on my mind. The girl I fought looked human, but wasn't. It is rare for even one such as I, with a unimaginably long lifespan, to meet someone like her. Yet she is the second such person I have known. The other was also a guest of mine once. She too resembled a human girl. I can sense her power somewhere here as well. Most likely, she's here for reasons having to do with the girl I met.
What an intriguing event. More so than I had first imagined.
Though I came here on a mere whim, this trip may be unexpected fruit. Perhaps I'll discover something important. My interest piqued even more now, and I begin to go further in. When I do, the bustle of voices reaches my ears. Is that a cheer? One of the monitors nearby turns on after the cheering dies down. It's showing a girl in a school uniform.
Ladies and gentlemen, is everyone ready? It's time to get our program started. I, Bissette, will be your commentator. Please, hold your applause. Oh, you're too kind, you're too kind. Well, with things starting to heat up now, the General has a few words for you. The mic's all yours, sir.
Next person who seems to be the host takes the girl's place. Actually, person may be incorrect. That intriguing fluffiness and tantalizingly round body.
Well then, I'm proud to announce the opening of our very own P1 Grand Prix!
Does Elizabeth also have a thing for Teddy?
Presenting the manliest of all men!
This is more of a to-do than I thought.
I keep watching as a video with some upbeat music plays.
Is this an introduction to the contestants?
A number of girls and boys are introduced at a steady pace. I haven't seen any of their faces before, but they all appear to be persona users. Each one of them is tagged with a mocking epithet.
Carnivore who's discarded womanhood, the blood-curdling beefcake emperor, the sister complex kingpin. Are these signs of their willingness to cast aside their pride in pursuit of victory? I wonder if they're not casting aside a little too much. This is a rather novel idea.
There is no denying that those with power are gathering here for the tournament. The video comes to a close. Since I came here of my own whim, I am obviously not featured in it. How unfortunate. I catch myself pouting my lips.
Should I officially enter this as well?
Who the hell keeps buzzing me? Oh, it's a TikTok notification. I don't even use TikTok anymore. Should probably uninstall that, get some space on my phone.
Oh, but if the manliest of all men are the ones called for, I cannot participate. Then again, I distinctly spotted a woman or two in the introductory video. Then I shan't concern myself with such trifling details. I shall soldier on.
The next time the host appears on a monitor, I will make my... treaty? If he turns me down, then I shall resort to force. Very good. My mind made up, I begin to walk through the school. Battles, battles, oh where might I find a battle? I look into a window nearby. Aha!
Oh my! The host himself is before my eyes.
Before I realize it, I'm already in motion.
Pardon my dynamic entrance.
Someone's here!
Looking around, I see a piano and portraits of famous composers lining the walls. I see, this must be what they call a music
Please
room.
forgive me for startling you.
Ooh! Who are you, miss?
I am Elizabeth, a mere elevator attendant, albeit one who is currently utterly neglecting her duties.
An elevator attendant? I don't believe it! I'm having culture shock! I wish Junessa's elevators had such beautiful attendants, too!
Excuse me, but may I ask your name?
Teddy! Doi!
I'm sorry. Would you mind repeating that in human language?
I was saying it normally. Teddy is my name, and I'm a proud bear!
I see. Teddy Bear. You have a rather creative flair to your appearance.
I wish you'd say cute instead. Though hearing a pretty lady like you say so makes my heart skip a beat.
Watching him, I cannot restrain my curiosity any longer and prod his soft fur with abandon.
Huh? What are you doing?
This seems to lack ventilation. How does he breathe in there? Huh, there's a zipper.
Stop! I'm ticklish. Oh no! No opening! You're embarrassing me!
Oh, please forgive me. Curiosity almost killed the bear.
Huh? What were you planning on doing to me? You're even a tougher customer than the kids at the food court, miss!
When I step away, Teddy Bear lightly smooths over his fur to try to regain his composure.
Oh, I had forgotten what I originally meant to ask because of your fine coat of hair. Teddy Bear, though I am a woman, I wish to partake in this Grand Prix.
Huh? I can't help you with that.
Oh, but are you not the host shown in the introduction video?
It's all a huge misunderstanding. That guy's an imposter. Won't you hear me out?
It seems he is faced with some kind of dilemma. I decide to lend an ear to Teddy Bear. He animatedly describes his circumstances, puts his arms and legs, but his arms and legs are too short to illustrate his point. His mannerisms are so peculiar that understanding is a uphill battle. But in the end, I grasp the basics.
I see. So you realized that something was amiss and came wandering in here yourself to investigate. But you fell into the imposter's trap and couldn't do a thing until a moment ago. You have my deepest sympathies.
Do I really? Anyways, everyone else is on the contestant list while I get the cold shoulder.
Is that so? Then, since we are both outcasts, let us participate of our own accord.
Our own?
May I request a match from you?
That makes no sense at all. What do you mean? Ooh, maybe a hot and heavy struggle with all kinds of clinches and holds.
A one-on-one battle to the extreme.
That makes no sense. Wait a second. You look a lot stronger than me, miss.
Oh, don't be so modest.
No, I'm really not.
I'm very sorry, but the deadline for submitting a forfeit notice has expired.
You're not sorry at all. There are things I can't do, you know. Oh, but on the other hand, if I can try scoring with you later, I might rethink this.
Scoring? I do not understand the term, but if that is your stipulation, why, I accept.
Oh, you accept? Woohoo! I'm ready to go whenever you are.
That is, if you're still alive afterward. Well then, here goes. Your fate is in the cards.
Here we go. I take my fighting stance. Settling matters through a show of force is simple, straightforward, and so beautiful.
Final.
Opening my turn. My turn. What? Impressive. Oh, is this the... Would you mind waiting for a moment? Now down. Oh, my turn. Here. This may be a... Opening my deck. Persona summoning. This may be a... Persona. Persona. Sanity. Persona. Your fate is in the cup. Vanity. Vanity. Summoning. Impact. Opening my deck.
Elizabeth's kind of overpowered, it seems.
The road to dating is steep. Ugh.
With an exaggerated groan, Teddy Bear collapses, or rolls down to be more precise.
Teddy Bear, you truly are an intriguing creature.
Hearing this, Teddy Bear springs to his feet.
Are you interested in me?
Though you aren't human, you fight against your fate and wish to be with humans. I have witnessed one other case who bore such a fate in the past.
Huh?
You made a choice and decided how you wish to live. That is marvelous, Teddy Bear.
Marvelous? Me? Does that mean you're still okay with me trying to score with you?
That is not what it means.
Teddy Bear loses his balance for some unknown reason and falls over.
No! The way you shoot down my attempts reminds me of Yuki-chan.
Yuki-chan? Is this an acquaintance of yours?
Yuki-chan is a very precious friend of mine.
You have friends.
Actually, everyone who is in that video are my friends. But I can't forgive them for having all the fun. I'll make them buy me a tasty treat for this.
I see. May I ask you something? Who would you consider the strongest among your friends?
Well, Sensei, of course. He's the manliest of all men.
Sensei. If I recall correctly, that is the name of a governing class within a school, wielding the power of life and death over its students. Yes, that does indeed sound like the name of a strong warrior.
Sensei's our leader.
He sounds strong, but he seems to be unaccounted to the former guest I'm searching for. But as Teddy Bear speaks of his friend called Sensei, he wears a beaming expression. They must be connected with a truly strong bond. Inwardly, I am surprised. Though he is adorable, this teddy bear most likely used to be something similar to a shadow. I am very curious about anyone who could form a bond with such a being. Thinking about it that way makes me interested in him as well.
Oh, that was quite helpful. Thank you.
Once the tournament's over, you should come hang out at Junes sometime.
Junes?
It's a place where Don Yosuke and I work. It's huge. You can eat food there, and they have candy, toys, and sexy bikinis, too.
What a paradise on Earth! It seems there is still much I do not know about in your world. Well then, if you'll excuse me, I must get going now.
Be careful!
I bow politely. Teddy Bear waves back with a big smile. Now, though I decided to participate on my own, how should I proceed from here? I don't have a good understanding of the building's layout, after all. I try going in and out of the building to test various paths, but I don't get anywhere.
It may have come to this.
I rear back my head and inhale as deeply as I can, and then...
Bring out the next opponent! No one heeded my call. I suppose repeating that line isn't enough.
My shoulders sag slightly and I concentrate on the area nearby. I sense an unexpected presence.
Ah, there is someone closer by than I had expected. What a reunion this will be. I'm starting to feel tingly.
Reunion? Okay, so does that mean that this is going to be Igus? There's no need for me to keep searching for an opponent since one is already nearby. I trace the presence and proceed down the hallway. When I reach what appears to be an entryway, I can hear what sounds like voices quarreling. One of the voices is Teddy Bear, or rather the sham host, General Teddy.
You're an anti-shadow weapon.
I take no joy at all from your praise.
As I moved forward, I found myself breaking into a run. Soon afterward, the voice's owner enters my field of vision. Just as I thought, that unmistakable figure. She's a guest I had hosted in my life as a resident. If I recall correctly, her name is Igus. Upon closer inspection, she's aiming her weapon at General Teddy on the monitor.
Pointing your weapon at a monitor isn't very scary. But anyways, your next opponent is...
Ah! If I don't act now, the match will start without me. I must prevent General Teddy from speaking for the time being until my business is completed. Again, before I realize it, I'm already in motion.
Oh, no! Pardon my bold entrance. Huh? Oh, the monitor's completely shattered. Who would do such a thing?
A strange intruder has shown up.
Oh my. I thought we were having a touching reunion. How unfortunate that you would refer to me as a strange intruder.
A reunion? I don't recall ever meeting anyone so odd.
She who governs power. Does that ring any bells for you?
Huh? Wait. Are you the one I met in that blue room, then? Your entrance just now was very different from how I remembered your behavior, so I didn't recognize you. But you're... Eridanus' son.
No.
Elixir? Orangi?
Come on, Igus. It's not that hard.
In any case, I never dreamed that I'd meet you here.
That goes for myself as well. It's been a long time since I saw you. But why are you here? What about your duties of governing power?
I am currently in gross abandonment of my duties.
That was a very straightforward answer.
Considering the circumstances here, I'd like to test your strength as well.
I excitedly flipped through the pages of the compendium.
What? Please, wait a moment. Does that mean you wish to fight me?
From what I've heard, in certain cultures in your world, one lets one's fists do the talking. Perhaps you could think of it as a sporty, modern, and extreme way of greeting one another.
I don't understand at all.
You seem to have become strong beyond all recognition. I'd like to see your power for myself, to broaden my horizons. Will you grant my shameless request?
I still don't understand. But does this mean your wish will be fulfilled if I agree to fight you? If that's really what you want, will you mind if I don't hold back?
I couldn't ask for anything more. I, Elizabeth, will fight you with all the strength at my disposal. Now, let us begin.
Settling matters through a show of force is simple, straight. Pardon me. I said that once already.
You're strong.
Igus crouches down with an annoyed
Oh
expression.
no, I was surprised myself. It's been a while since I fought with all my power.
I close my eyes and reminisce. Just as I expected, she has grown more powerful than before. Aegis is not human. She has an artificial body, making her a sort of mechanical maiden. She was originally created as a tool to accomplish a set goal with established abilities. But by gaining a heart, she forged her own destiny. She did this with the power that can only be gained by those with emotions, the power of bonds. Her nature shifted from one direction by others to one who chooses for herself. She was no longer merely acting, but living. This shift caused a miracle, and she overcame her artificial origins to attain what could be called life. Some have the talent of turning bonds into great strength by forming a contract through intense desire. We residents of the Velvet Room refer to this talent as the wild card, and it has at times changed the course of history. Even I, who served as a resident for a long time, only encountered a few with that power. She is one of them.
I now have a wish of my own. Though it may take vast oceans of time for it to come true. Perhaps one day you will accompany me on the same journey.
What do you mean?
If our destinies truly do cross, you will eventually understand.
Aegis's expression shows that she still does not understand, but that is fine for now.
By the way, how have your friends been?
Huh? Oh, they're all well. Several of them are here right now.
Suddenly, a staticky voice echoes from the broken monitor's speaker, interrupting our conversation. It seems I was not thorough in my destruction.
Testing. It's finally getting through. Hey, you! The one who's not on the roster! Who are you? Why are you gumming up the works?
It's that bear.
If you keep messing with my Grand Prix, I'll make you...
I snap the fingers of my right hand with flourish. The speaker explodes. I'm sure that the announcement will bother will bother us no more now. It seems I have finally finished it off.
Oh my! Flames have suddenly burst from the speakers. How dreadful!
That was 180% your doing.
Such repeated meddling. It seems I have a bit of a score to settle with the host, too. Well then, I will be going now. Please be careful.
Oh, wait. There is a rule in this tournament against the loser of a fight moving on.
Is there? Well, considering that I entered myself into the tournament, I do not think you count as a defeated contestant. That is only conjecture, though.
You entered yourself, yet you're going to settle a score with a host for complaining about you?
Huh, details.
I smile cheerfully in return and leave the area. Truly, that was one of my better smiles.
I cannot believe that even Elizabeth's son came to this world. That's it! Her name was Elizabeth's son. I finally remember.
Well, it took you long enough, I guess. Eventually, I reached the room known as the announcement room. When I approached the door, I sensed power from within. It seems the real host is here, and not on some monitor. I haven't encountered that Persona user known as Sensei yet, but thinking about it, I would expect him to win his matches until reaching here. It may be easier to wait than to search aimlessly for him. Upon closer inspection, the door is slightly open. There are people inside.
I sense 2. No, 3 people.
I cautiously sneak up to the door and peek inside.
What a shame. You gave it a try, but there's no way anyone would understand you. Huh? That is that teddy bear imposter. The student council president is here too. It seems the false teddy bear's tone is much harsher than before. Has he been meeting with difficulties lately?
When I look again at what's going on inside the room, a sinister aura swirls around the General Teddy. A surprising transformation occurs. His silhouette reforms into a shapeless lump, which resolves into the figure of the Student Council President girl.
I am Shadow, the true self.
Goodness, that false teddy bear was actually the girl's shadow. I see. It's true that suffering to this degree could cause a shadow to go berserk and affect its surroundings.
The girl's true appearance has already been exposed. It seems she was finally able to face her original nature. Surprisingly, the enemy forcing the illusion upon her was her other self. I'm glad that she has awakened to her true self, but this is a shocking and drastic turn of events.
At least one of them has to understand how I feel.
Isn't that what you thought? The important part is that it's all your fault.
That's not true.
You want the everyday boys and girls to experience what you had to go through. You want to see close friends fight for their lives against each other. Because if they do that, then they might understand. You want to make them understand.
That ain't true.
It's alright though. You don't have to worry about that anymore. I'll take care of everything from here. I'll destroy anyone who doesn't understand you and comes to get in your way. Just like you once did.
Please stop! That's all a lie! You're not me!
Finally! You finally said it! I'm finally free!
Oh, we already saw that earlier. We can skip through it. The shadow has gone berserk. At this point, it can no longer be stopped solely by the original person. Worse, the shadow has no more reason to keep its host alive. If this continues... But a third person storms onto the scene just as I'm about to intervene.
Labrys!
Excuse me. It is a young man in a school uniform. For a moment, I'm utterly captivated. What powerful fire he has in his eyes. On a second look, I recognize his face from the video. As I recall, his name was Kingpin Yu. No, that's not right. Sister Complex Yu. No, that sounds even further from his actual name. Narukami. That's right, it's Yu Narukami.
I won't let you hurt her anymore. If you're gonna keep rampaging, I'll fight you.
Fine! Then you'll be the first to die!
Shadow's attack hurls towards the young man. But he does not flinch, and takes a fighting stance after smoothly evading it. Seeing his heightened determination, I detect a distinct presence about him.
That young man is a Persona user, too.
Ah, and that's not all. The sensation is similar to when I encountered Igus.
His powers be...
There's no doubt about it, it's the same as hers. He too is a Persona user who awakened talent is that of the wild card. The shadow launches its next attack at the young man. The battle axe it brandishes is a cluster of steel, as long as she is tall. If he truly can wield those powers, he may be able to stop such an attack, but it's not a sure thing.
This opportunity cannot be missed.
This time, I enter the room and step between the two.
What? Pardon me as I interrupt this scene.
Who are you?
You! How? I set up walls so you couldn't pass through. How did you get here?
So, you couldn't pass through? Was it... or what is it referring to? Oh, could it mean those invisible walls I bumped into from time to time? I suppose thinking back, I did run afoul of such things along the way. But a little push was all it took to pass through them, so I barely paid them any heed.
Such parlor tricks can get stuffed.
The shadow and the young man both looked quite perplexed. What was or was what I said so shocking? Excuse me. I take the opportunity to step towards the young man and look him straight in the face.
Are you perhaps the sensei that Teddy Bear spoke of? Someone who has awakened to the power of the wild card through Velvet Room's guidance.
What? Wait, that blue outfit. Who are you?
I flash him a smile and turn my gaze towards the girl collapsed nearby. I believe he called her Labrys a moment ago.
I see. I feel that I have a good grasp on the situation now.
Then can't you tell you're in the way? Get out of here!
I cannot do that. I came to settle some business I had with you, the tournament's host.
What business?
To be blunt. What business was it?
How should I know?
That was harsh.
It turns out that I do not care about such trifling details after all. My apologies. Please forget my mention of business. Actually, my search for a certain individual has unexpectedly concluded, so we're done here.
Who said we're done? That's it! I'll kill you where you stand!
I wouldn't recommend it. If I may be so boastful, it would be a battle you stand no chance of winning.
What?
My words must have been so humiliating that the Shadow's face flushes red and it gropes for words. I ignore it in order to speak to the young man.
It's nice meeting you, by the way. I am Elizabeth. Would it ring a bell if I mentioned that I am the one who governs power?
You mean like Margaret?
Oh, do you know my older sister? I see, no wonder.
Stop ignoring me, bitch!
I shield the young man behind me and turn towards the Shadow.
Please wait a moment. I must ask the one over there to leave this place before we resume.
It's you who's going to leave!
I was sure that I gave the proper warnings earlier.
Stop ignoring me, bitch!
So it goes. Your fate is in the cards.
You know, I'm starting to think maybe I should finish up this game tonight when I do my normal stream time and probably do Lies of P during the day tomorrow. I think that's what we're gonna do, actually.
Here is some Your fate is in. Would you mind waiting for a moment? My attack let it clear. Impossible. Please don't hold back. Here, from this moment, one moment, please. Backing up. Won't you have some? Won't you have some? Oh my. How mean. How mean. Bloody hell. My attack force you here is a freeze ball. It's time to be judged. The lever. My attack force you here is a freeze
We're getting through Elizabeth's story pretty quickly.
How could it end like this? It's all completely ruined.
The Shadow falls to its knees, its will completely drained. I doubt it has the strength left to attack us.
Is me?
The girl, still unable to stand, stares blankly at her own shadow. I turn around towards the young man. This P1 Grand Prix was most likely caused by the girl's shadow manifesting her suppressed anguish. But this young man tried to reach out to her, even at the risk of his own safety. And even after seeing proof that she was the one who caused that risk.
Excuse me, but may I leave the rest of this to you? I'm ashamed to say so, but delicate persuasion is not my forte.
I understand. I agree that you don't seem like you'd be too good at it.
The young man walks towards Labrys, who is still at a loss for words. I have yet to have a proper conversation with him, but I sense a certain trustworthiness in his strong steps.
Miss President, or actually Labrys.
What am I supposed to do? What difference does it make if I accept this? In the end, no one's gonna understand me anyway, right?
It's true that others won't be able to easily understand your pain.
What the hell is this?
But are you gonna give up after just one try at showing them? One victory or loss doesn't matter. What matters is that you don't give up. That's what I think.
I shouldn't give up?
No, you can do this. You're not alone anymore.
Labrys's eyes widen, as if just realizing the brightness of the scenery before her. The young man waits patiently for his words to sink in. After some time, Labrys finally stands up and looks towards me.
Is this what you were talking about before?
I am also not human, but who you are is for you to decide. That is the power of potential that everyone holds. Even for a machine, I believe that still holds true.
You could have just said so when we first met.
Alas, I have always had some difficulty making myself understood.
Come on now. You should go to her.
Labrys faces her shadow once more, at the urging of the young man. And same cutscene, we could skip this.
Congratulations!
Yeah, you did well.
Thanks.
There's no need to thank us. It was all you.
Seeing Labrys smile, I can't help but grin as well. But her relief only lasts for a moment before the strength drains from her body and she stumbles.
Labrys!
The young man hastily catches her.
There's no need to worry. She must have reached the limits of her stamina.
He props the unconscious Labrys down against a wall.
The strength that binds hearts together. No matter how many times I witness it, its beauty never fades. May I borrow some of your time?
The young man looks over his shoulder in surprise, but when our gazes cross, he turns as if understanding.
Are you a resident of the Velvet Room too?
Well, in a way. I have abandoned my duties at the moment in order to see through a desire of mine.
What did you want with me?
I calmed myself before opening my mouth once more.
In order for my wish to be granted, I require a power much greater than what I have. But it is most likely not power used to fight. It is something else. I wish to understand what that is. The power of the wild card that changes bonds into strength. I have a feeling that the key lies there.
I don't really understand.
Put more bluntly, I wish for you to show me your potential.
The young man considers everything I said, but eventually sighs before responding.
I get it now.
You don't mind?
Would you back down if I said no? After what you said before, I don't think you'd back off that easy.
Touché.
I take a slightly defensive stance.
There is no need to be lenient. I invite you to approach this battle as if you intend to kill me.
I didn't think I could win any other way.
Thank you. Well then, here goes. Your fate is in the cards.
Finally!
Opening my diamond. Mind. Freeze. Might. Your fate is in the card. Opening my deck. Persona Venator. Oh. What? Would you mind waiting for a moment? Freeze. Pound. Please look at that. No. My turn. This one. This may be. Persona Venator. Your fate is in the card.
Guys. She's so strong.
I see. You do indeed have great power.
Even while saying so, I am conflicted and my expression clouds. It's true that he was strong. He expertly wields the power of the wild card. But thinking about it, that isn't what I wanted to learn. The power of the wild card doesn't stem just from one's skill in a fight. His strength comes from his knowledge that he cannot avoid fighting to gain his desire. The strength happens to manifest as power in battle. But what I want to learn has little to do with combat. Will I ever get closer to the root of the matter with this method? But even if I find that I can't, I don't see any other way. I've measured all types of strength, great and small, as the one who presides over power. I suddenly feel anxious.
Could it be that it's something I cannot understand?
Will I never be able to understand as one distant from the workings of human society? Has it been impossible from the start for my wish to be fulfilled? Then I noticed the sound of footsteps.
Hey, are you okay? Oh shit, dude, what happened to you?
Yukon, are you alright? Senpai, hang in there!
It seems that once the shadow who created the place was vanquished, the rules keeping people trapped were nullified. These must be the friends he formed bonds with, but...
Yo! Did you do this? What did you do to Senpai?
One of them turns his fierce eyes on me.
You're so mean, miss! This is going too far!
Who are you anyway? You better explain yourself!
If you did this with malign intent, we won't let you leave here so easily.
Their anger at seeing their friend hurt. That was a new experience for me. Their bond gave birth to anger, grew into animosity, and that fury is now directed towards me. But the young man stands up.
One more time.
He requests this even though he is badly wounded. A rematch would seem to have only one possible outcome.
What?
Please, that is enough. I've already witnessed your strength.
If this ends with my defeat, it doesn't count as me showing you my potential.
Hey, welcome to stream, woo-woo person. How you doing?
But...
You shouldn't jump to conclusions. I thought I said this once today. What's important is that you don't give up after one try. You have to hang in there. My friends that I haven't seen in a while are all here. I can't just wave the white flag.
Pretty stressed? What's going on? The moment the young man makes his declaration, a mysterious presence fills the area. The presence surges with power and creates a whirlpool of light around him. Within that light, the young man's determination and drive instantly rekindle.
What is that power?
Family stuff? Ah, okay. Is it the wild card he holds? I then notice the young man's friends are standing behind him in support, all of them fixing their gazes on me as I stand perplexed. The bond that they share in their very core is echoed in their eyes. I suddenly feel as if I'm confronting a fearsome giant.
I cannot believe I am seeing this.
I find myself starting to back off. My footsteps are unsteady as I go. A small dip in the floor behind me, no larger than a fingernail, throws me off balance. Surely I'm about to fall, but then unseen arms catch me.
Are you alright?
You're...
So is Elizabeth finding Labrys too? She just did a while ago. In contrast to my utter bewilderment, she wears a calm smile. When I turn back to the young man, the surge of power has already dissipated. I catch myself sighing in relief. Even when I review my long memory, I can recall no occasion on which I had felt so overwhelmed before. Guessing that I'm almost done. I'm thinking probably...
What was that just now?
Yeah.
Do you happen to know what this power is?
I do not know the specifics, but
Aegis also turns her gaze towards you and his friends.
that must be the power of their bonds. The power that stems from not being alone. I don't know why, but I feel like I understand when I'm watching them.
The power of not being alone.
It's a power they all share. It isn't just his. Did their strong bonds turn his determination not to lose into an instant recovery for him? I'm suddenly reminded of a conversation I once had with my sister. If something is impossible for them to accomplish alone, they will work together. His friends have even worked miracles at times. Those were the words I spoke to her.
What's important is that you don't give up.
It is a cliche to hear, but its wisdom is profound. I dismissed his potential judging by my standards. Elizabeth should know this power. She had a bond with Makoto. Indeed. I almost give up in the same way, thinking that I would be unable to understand, but he refused to allow that. His power proves there is not only one standard. It is truly the strength found in numbers.
So this is a bond.
When I think about the guests I met who had formed bonds, I may have focused too much on those individuals. When I think about the guests I met who... oh wait, I already read that. I never took much interest in who they were bonded with, or how those bonds were
What
forged.
I should be studying isn't just him, but all of them together. Not the strength of a person, but of people. That may be the lesson. It seems I am starting to find hope.
I nod in satisfaction.
Today's festivities made for quite a wonderful Grand Prix. Considering that there have been some games, I should be going, if you'll all excuse me.
I turn to make my exit.
Wait a sec, you haven't explained yourself yet! You haven't even told us your name!
A very special bond with Makoto in his room. Yeah, lucky bastard, huh?
It's Elizabeth!
Hey! Back here! What are you all happy for?
Who was she? Well, the odds are low that she was the mastermind behind this case.
Enough about her! Senpai's more important! We'll get you out of here in no time, so hang in there, Senpai! Teddy, get a stretcher ready!
Huh?
What are you standing around for? Move!
Guys, I'm not exactly critically injured, you know?
I think it's wonderful.
You're...
Seeing you surrounded by friends reminds me of a certain someone.
a certain someone?
There is no need to worry, everyone. His wounds are not serious. He is merely exhausted.
Oh, thank goodness. Wait, who are you?
I could have left by a shorter route, but I returned to the school's front gate, and I look back at the school. The face of the people I parted with a moment ago are called to mind. Amongst them is that young man's face. I only faced him briefly, yet I recall with surprising vividness.
I'm sure that he will continue to increase his strength of heart. It is a given with so many friends. I am a little bit envious.
I turn the pages of the compendium and draw a magical circle in the air.
Well then, farewell.
I soundlessly pass through it and leave as if melting into the scenery. I close my eyes and my thoughts drift to the past.
Elizabeth? Elizabeth, are you listening? You seem lost in thought like that frequently of late. Could this mean that you finally began to be troubled over things, like a normal person?
How scathing of you, as usual.
Believe me, sister, I am not as bad as you. What's the matter?
My dear sister, I want to tell you a fairy tale.
What's this about?
In our world, at the far reaches of the Sea of the Soul, there stands a large door.
Counting who has mentioned Makoto, Mitsuru, Aigis, and Elizabeth? Alright.
A soul which devoted itself to sealing that door slumbers there.
Why did it do such a thing?
That soul is risking itself to prevent those who have lost sight of life's brilliance from luring the world to self-destruction. It has become the guardian of the door, of the whole world, in fact.
That is a very sorrowful story.
My dear sister, do you think I can save that person?
I thought it was a fairy tale.
It may be impossible alone, but what if I joined forces to do it? This person's friends are capable of miracles at times.
This person you speak of, is it... I hope you're not planning to...
Oh, don't be silly, my dear sister. I told you, it was only a fairy tale.
To a certain degree, all of your stories are like fairy tales. I don't know what's troubling you, but be sure that you don't neglect your duties.
When I open my eyes again, I am in the Sea of the Soul, a world where countless bright lights shine like nebula.
Velvet, oh velvet.
You think Margaret knows that it isn't a fairy tale? Yeah, I think so too. I begin singing a song, but now that I'm here again, I feel a hint of loneliness. I smile inwardly at myself. What happened today was very fruitful for me, though it came with a certain realization. I still don't have anyone in the world outside the Velvet Room that I wish to form a bond with. My lack of a hunger for such things may have prevented me from understanding.
No, that's not quite right either.
Lack of hunger. That's not it. In truth, it was within my power, but I was turning my gaze away from it. After all, I didn't begin this journey only to find a means to defeat that monster. I thought by defeating it, I could see him again.
To think I was unconsciously afraid of something and keeping my distance from it. That is quite a surprise.
The mechanical girl, the young man today, and my old guest all had their own desires and resolve from the start. I should make myself just as resolved if I am to achieve my desire as well. I will face it unblinkingly and accept it. I will admit that the loneliness in me arose from leaving my old residence. The sick feeling of loneliness will surely torment me and cause me grief forever. But if I harden my resolve to allow for embracing that pain, I am certain that my yearning heart will yield great power. Bonds, the other half of being alive along with death. Just as death gives life its shine, I'm sure loneliness will shed new light on the question of bonds. That is when I will obtain the power of bonds in the trust sense. Certainly, I will not achieve that miracle alone.
I cannot defeat that monster now. I may in time gain the power to truly erase it.
He must have felt that hunger as well. That is why he tried to protect his bonds with his life, leading him into the universe. I smiled to myself again. As one who leads others, I have only now gained enlightenment about the true meaning of bonds. And at that moment, a single card drifts down before my eyes.
Oh.
Hovering before me, like a butterfly fluttering its wings, is the card of the Fool. You hope they do save Makoto. Poor bastard had fun times with Elizabeth in his bed, and then went up and died. You have an obligation to go now and take care of Elizabeth. He took Elizabeth from us. At the very least, take her. Be a good boyfriend. I'm sure we'll get that in one of the future Persona games. Bursts and pearls of light on my hand.
To think the day would come where I would behold my own arcana and not that of a visitor's.
The Fool. It represents freedom, purity, and possibility. And
the beginning of a journey. It may be that my journey has finally truly begun. The Fool. Well, I am aware that I still do foolish things.
I give her eyes smile and look up. My gaze is fixated on what lies ahead. It is an enormous door, what looms like a small mountain in the center of the void.
Please wait for me. One day I shall surely see my wish come true.
I briskly turn on my heel away from the door. My walk begins.
Velvet, oh velvet.
My bright song will no longer have mournful undertones.
My master has a large nose.
I have yet to determine a sure path. There is no assurance that my wish will come true. Whether those I encountered today will truly share something with me isn't certain either. But I have hope now, and that is what lets me go on. This time I can head towards the future I desire without losing my way. Okay, and Elizabeth is now completed.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
You know what?
This place exists between dream and reality, mind and matter. Now then, why don't you introduce yourself?
You know, it's only going to take me probably 2 hours tops to complete the next story, and it's not going to be 9 o'clock for 2 hours, so what we're going to do here is we're going to shut down the stream real quick, and then we will come back again abruptly, and we will finish things up as you, Narukami.
In your daily life, you subconsciously heard the call to awaken.
You know what, fuck it, you'll join Elizabeth on the journey, you'll kick anyone's ass in the journey to save him. Well, yeah, we'll, shut things down real quick, and I will be back momentarily. I just need to change the stream title, change the, thumbnail, and we will wrap this up. So, thank you for tuning in, Ubu person, and I will see you pretty soon, no doubt. See you in a few.